The views and opinions expressed in the DILLIGAF podcast are those of the host alone and are not intended to express those of any other person, business, or entity. The DILLIGAF podcast is for entertainment only. These are my opinions and should not be interpreted as facts or advice. Think for yourself.
Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah. I think that we've all had enough.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the DILLIGAF podcast, talking about anything and everything that interests me. Makes me think, laugh, cry, scream, rage, or say, what the fuck? You'll hear about it. My name's Tom. I am your host. I want to thank everybody for watching or listening on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share, rate, comment. All that stuff helps out the show tremendously. So please, if you don't mind, just something, please. Thanks. And make sure you're following on social media on all platforms. You can find the show at DILLIGAF_pod. And you can find all that on my Linktree, which is Linktree/DILLIGAF_pod, or scan the little QR code right here in the corner of your screen if you're watching on YouTube. And if you ever want to shoot me an email, it's dilligafpod@gmail.com. So this week it is our third and final episode in our series about conspiracy theories. And this week we are talking about the NWO. No, not the wrestling faction. Talking about basically the New World Order is a conspiracy theory stating that there is a secret power elite that is seeking world domination. They control everything behind the scenes. They're pulling all the strings. They're controlling all of the world governments, finances, business, medicine, science, everything. It's this small group of just elite, rich, powerful business people, politicians that are pretty much running the whole world. So I'm going to get into some of the people that have been purported to be a part of this whole New World Order, one world government conspiracy theory. I'm not going to get real deep into any of these things. I'm just going to kind of touch on each one, but definitely if this is something that interests you, look some of this stuff up. Very interesting stuff. Do I believe this myself? You know what? I'm not sure, because I think it's possible. I think it's very possible that just a small group of people who control a majority of the money in the world control a lot of other stuff in the world. I mean, money rules everything. It sucks that that's the way it is, but that is the way it is. That's the world we live in. So the people with the money have the power. So is something like this possible? Yeah, I think so. Is it actually happening? I don't know. There hasn't been anything to prove it, but that's why it's called a conspiracy theory. But first, we're going to get into a couple of the big time, like the wealthiest families in the world that have just so many, that are so prominent in business around the world and banking and things like that, and control so much of the world's resources that they're implicated in this theory. And the first one is the Rothschild family. Now, if you've never heard of the Rothschilds, they're a banking family. They go all the way back to the 1600s. One of the wealthiest families on the planet. I mean, the net worth of this family, mind you, it's the family, it's not one individual. The net worth of the family is estimated to be $1.2 trillion. Okay. So, and they have their hands in everything. They're a banking family. That's, where they make their money. And everybody knows, banks are, well, I shouldn't say everybody knows, but everybody pretty much thinks banks are some of the most corrupt institutions on the planet, but unfortunately they're necessary. But so that's how they made all their money. And they have been a very prominent family in business and industry for, I mean, like I said, $1.2 billion. They've been building their wealth for 400 plus years. So it would stand to reason with that kind of money comes an equal amount of power. And the family is so large. I mean, they have their hands in everything. So not a big stretch to think if there was this whole New World Order thing going on behind the scenes that the Rothschilds would be a part of it. Another family that a lot of people think has something to do with this is the Rockefellers. Again, a big industrial and banking family uh, from from the United States. And, this is the family that started Standard Oil, which eventually became Exxon and Chevron. So, when you go pump gas, you're putting money into the Rockefellers' pockets. So, and again, just vast amounts of wealth and have their hands in everything. I mean, if you're in New York City, you probably can't walk a block without tripping over somebody named Rockefeller or somebody connected to this family. So, and like I said, they're everywhere. So again, this is another family that I think if this is actually going on, not a big stretch to think that they would be a part of it. Now we're going to get into some of the business stuff that is supposedly involved with all of this, and one is called BlackRock. If you've never heard of them, look them up. They're an investment and asset management company, and at last estimate, they control about $10 trillion worth of assets. They take their clients' money and they invest in, you know, whatever it might be, all kinds of different industries to make money for their clients and for themselves. And I forget where they ranked as far as like the most powerful companies on the planet just based on their investment holdings, but they're considered like one of the what's called the big three in asset management in the US or in the world. And again, have their hands in every type of business and industry you can imagine in an ownership type capacity through investments. So, it would stand to reason they have a lot of influence because of that. So they can, you know, they can kind of sway financial tides however they want to. So again, another group that, yeah, very well could be part of such a behind the scenes control type deal. Another one is the Bilderberg Group. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Bilderberg meeting. It happens every year, and it's an off the record meeting between Europe and North America involving politicians and industry leaders and experts in like finance and academics. And supposedly it's to bolster the consensus around free market capitalism and its interests around the world. And the people involved in this meeting can take any information that they get from other people at this meeting and use it as long as they don't attribute it back to whoever they got it from. Very strange setup, very secretive. You'll never find any records of what goes on or what's talked about in these meetings, but yet these meetings are attended by, politicians, like elected officials and high-ranking business people. You could probably find like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk at this meeting, and things like that. So, a lot of powerful, influential people. And so, of course, with something like that, there's going to be people talking about it saying, oh, they're controlling all of the world's finances, and they're the ones that make all the decisions as far as, inflation and interest rates and, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of theories around this Bilderberg meeting because it is secretive. Nobody knows what goes on there except the people that get to attend. There's no, like I said, you can try looking it up. There's no record of what the content of these meetings really is, only what people are told. The only thing known for sure is that these meetings actually happen. Another one is called the Trilateral Commission. Now, what that is a non-government organization, and it's supposed to foster cooperation between Japan, Europe, and North America. Interestingly enough, this commission was founded by David Rockefeller. And and like I said, it's just supposed to help with closer cooperation between North America, Japan, and Europe. But again, it's like I said, it's a non-government organization. It's independent. They're not answerable to anybody, but it's still something that is attended by elected officials, business leaders, financial leaders, academic leaders, the elite of the elite when it comes to money and power. That's where what all of this revolves around. It's all about, the 1%, as they call it. People who have all the money, the people who have all the power, and they're controlling everything is the whole theory behind all of this. Another one is the Council on Foreign Relations. This is an American think tank, basically. It's independent, nonpartisan. So what that means basically is no oversight. But again, they specialize in foreign policy and international relations. And again, you've got the big time elite political business figures involved in this with their hands in everything. And there's people that think these are the people that can control whatever wars are going on or not going on in the world. Is the Council on Foreign Relations. Now another one, and this is one. Now these next couple are ones that people have not probably heard a whole lot about. Another one is the Tavistock Institute. Originally started off as a Tavistock Clinic. And this is a British nonprofit organization, a social science organization that focuses on human relations. You can go on their website. They've got, stuff to help businesses with their intercompany relations and all kinds of stuff. But the I guess the seedier side of that people think is going on is that supposedly this group is the ones who shape the morality of society and shape culture and politics. And again, because they have their hands in everything, they do like market research and, like I said, human relations, and they do these training things with businesses and with politics and all this other kind of stuff. So they have their hands in everything, and very kind of low key but very influential group of people. And another one that most people have not heard of. I hadn't heard of this one until I heard it talked about on the podcast I mentioned a couple weeks ago, Theories of the Third Kind. It is impossible to find any information. It's impossible to find out if this is actually real or just some made up bullshit, basically. But if it is real, damn. It's called the Omega Agency. And this is basically the one that supposedly oversees all of it. They are over the Trilateral Commission. They control the Bilderberg Group and the Council on Foreign Relations and the pretty much everything else. And it's a very secretive, like CIA type organization. Supposedly, there's like a 10 to 12 member council that controls the whole thing. Like, I guess the only permanent members of this council, and they're both dead now, but the only permanent members of this council were George Bush Sr. and Alexander Haig, who's a former Secretary of State under Ronald Reagan. Yeah, Haig was the one after Reagan got shot and George Bush was already in the hospital, said, I'm in charge now because I'm Secretary of State. And that's why he was yanked out of there real fast, because he jumped the gun to take control. These are the ones that are supposedly going to create this one world government at some point, and it's supposedly going to be done without any kind of war, without any, and slowly over a span of years. But everything's already in place for the people to basically enforce their version of what the world should be. And crazy shit. I only found one website talking about this. And like I said, the only reason I heard about it was from Theories of the Third Kind, and they actually were able to find some more information on it. So definitely check out the episode of theirs that talks about it if you want to get some more information, or if you're able to dig up something else other than I did, let me know. Shoot me an email if you find more information on these motherfuckers, because I can't even confirm that they exist. All right, so I'm back. Sorry about that. I always forget to put my phone on silent when I start recording. But anyway, talking about the Omega Agency, like I said, I can't even confirm that these people exist. So if y'all can find anything else out about them, please drop me a line, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, something, because some interesting shit if this is true. Another one is the Bohemian Club. Now, a lot of people have probably heard of Bohemian Grove. That's basically what this is. It's a yearly retreat for people of power, government officials, business leaders, stuff like that. And there's all kinds of rumors surrounding it about, secret rituals and even like sacrifices, like human sacrifices and shit like that. Because it's like out in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and it's like a members only club and just crazy shit. And anything secretive like that, there's going to be rumors swirling around it, But I mean, this is like the Bohemian Club. You see a lot of ex-presidents are members, and again, a lot of business leaders, academics, and stuff like that. So this is another thing that people are saying, oh, this meetings, basically they're meeting on how to control the world. And then you get into the stuff that everybody has heard of, like the Illuminati, which is, a secret society, supposedly died off in 1785. Some people say they survived and went underground and got their hands into everything: government, religion, politics, business, science, everything else. And they're just involved in everything and are, kind of shaping the direction of the world the way that they want it to go. And then, of course, we got the Freemasons. Everybody's heard of the Freemasons, fraternal organization, been around forever. But again, anything secretive, there's going to be rumors. A lot of the founding fathers were Freemasons. And, people say you see a lot of symbolism in like the architecture of Washington, D.C., or in currency, the pyramid with the all-seeing eye on the back of the dollar bill. And these are all supposedly Masonic symbols and things like that. So that's yeah, again, these are all very secretive organizations that not a whole lot is known about. Some of them, nothing is known about other than that they exist. And in the case of the Omega Agency, you can't even confirm that it exists. So with all of that, people let their imaginations run crazy. People don't trust government anyway. And so they see stuff like this going on, where government officials from different countries and then business leaders and the power elite rich people that have all of the money in the world getting together in one place for secret meetings. You can kind of extrapolate from there. Okay, they're divvying up the world amongst each other, or figuring out how to just straight up take control of the whole planet. And that's what the New World Order is. That's what the conspiracy theory is all about, is the power elite of the world seeking to dominate the world, bring the entire world under a single government, and just control everything. My take is they already control everything. The people with all the money control every damn thing. They pay off the politicians and pass the laws that they want passed. And I mean, it's just a matter of, there's all the governments are still separate as far as we know. Now, in a perfect world, would a one world government be a bad thing? Probably not in a perfect world, because one world government means that at some point, all of the governments got together and got along and were able to agree on how to, best rule the world, I guess, for lack of a better term. But if a one world government ever did happen, that's not how it would happen. It would be a dictatorship. It would be a hostile takeover, a coup d'etat, whatever you want to call it. It wouldn't be pleasant, because it would be somebody taking over strictly for power, not for the betterment of humankind. If it was done for the betterment of humankind, to the point where there's no more wars and nobody's hungry anymore and everybody's got a job and everybody's happy, that'd be a great one world government. Never going to happen. Not in my lifetime anyway, and probably not in the next 10 lifetimes. So, but that's my take. Not a super long episode this week, but that's my take on the New World Order. Sorry for the little interruption there in the middle. I'll try to splice that together so It's not too bad, but yeah, the New World Order is the power elite of the world trying to dominate everything and everyone, controlling all of the governments, all of the finances, all of the science, controlling when and where wars happen or don't happen, controlling who is in power in every country of the world, who's going to be president here, who's going to be prime minister there. Let's get rid of the king over here. You know, they're the ones, they're putting their pieces in place to make their move and make that final checkmate to just take over the entire world and control everything. That is the theory behind the New World Order. Again, do I believe it? I think it's plausible because, like I said, money controls everything. Do I think it's happening? No, because I don't even think that the power elite like that could get along with each other long enough to take over the world. Okay, they're going to be too busy worried about how to screw each other over and get one up on the next guy and make more money than him. So no, I don't think they could get along long enough to take over the world. That's my take on it. Is it possible? It's possible, but I don't think it's probable for exactly that reason. Individual greed trumps everything. So that's going to wrap things up for this week. But thank you again to everybody for watching or listening on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast from. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share, rate, comment. All that stuff helps out the show. It really does. Make sure you follow on social media. It's at DILLIGAF_pod on all socials. And you can find all that on my Linktree, which is Linktree/DILLIGAF_pod, or scan the QR code right here in the corner of the screen if you're watching on YouTube. And if you want to shoot me an email, it's dilligafpod@gmail.com. And like I said, give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think. Drop me an email, drop me a DM, whatever. Let me know what you guys think of all this. And as always, if anyone has any issues with anything that I have said here today, ask yourself one question. Do I look like I give a fuck? Oh yeah, we want retribution.